All right, here's problem number 3. With these three, we're going to be using either substitution or elimination. Remember some of the things we've talked about. If you have a solved equation, that's when you want to use substitution. Otherwise, use elimination. So this first one, letter A, this bottom equation is solved. So there's my solved equation. And since it's y equals, I want to go ahead and plug this in for my y. Okay, so my equation that I start with is going to look like this. I'm going to start negative 5x minus 3. Now we're removing that y out of there, and we're replacing it with negative 4x plus 7. That's substitution. Equals negative 21. And then we need to solve. So be careful when you do distribute. Negative times a negative, that would be positive 12x. Negative times a negative, that would be negative 21. I want to add my x's together, so that's going to be 7x minus 21 equals negative 21. And I just have a two-step equation remaining. Oops. Sorry. Add 21 to both sides. That is 0. And please don't freak out. Okay, we're still good. Divide both sides by 7. And we have our first value, x is 0. So I know I'm going to put 0 in for my x in my answer. Okay. Now, I still don't know what the y value is, so I need to substitute the 0 back in. And that's an x answer, so I can use either of the x's. It doesn't matter which one. Remember, I said I prefer the solved equation. So I'm going to use the solved one, and I'm going to put 0 in for my x. So I have negative 4 times 0 is 0, and 0 plus 7 is 7. So letter A would be 0, 7. Letter B, in this particular one, I actually have two solved equations. So it really doesn't matter which one I box. I'm just going to go ahead. There's my solved one. Again, it says y equals, so I need to find the y, which happens to be on the left side all by itself. And I'm going to rewrite my equation. Now, instead of putting this y here, I'm going to replace that with the 4x minus 1. I put equals 6x plus 1. And this gives me my equation to solve. So I'm going to minus 6x on both sides. That's 0. Add 1 to both sides. That's 0. So I get negative 2x equals 2. And I finish it. So there's my x. I have my negative 1. Now I need to figure out what y is. So again, it really doesn't matter which one I choose. I'm just going to go ahead and choose that top equation. This is an x answer, so I need to put it in for my x. 4 times negative 1 is negative 4, and negative 4 minus 1 is negative 5. Okay. Letter C in this problem is the last one. So I got to look at it, and this is the first one that I don't have anything solved. So I do not have a solved equation. So what I need to go ahead and do is I'm going to use elimination. And when I look at first, neither of these are opposites. The x's don't add up to 0. The y's don't add up to 0. So again, reminder, there's many different ways to do it. Okay. If you're unsure, top by the bottom. So the top one by 2. Bottom by opposite of the top. So instead of a negative 7, I'm going to multiply that by 7. And then we multiply our equations out. The top one, everything by 2. So I got negative 14x plus 4y equals 4. The bottom, everything by 7. So it'd be positive 14x negative 21y and I think it's 98. Now from here, let's add our equations together. So that's 0. That's going to give me negative 17y equals 102. And I divide this out, and y is negative 6. So I have the y value right now. Now I'm going to have to substitute it back in to get my x. Now, I'm going to go ahead and use my bottom equation. Now, remember, it does not matter. I have a y answer, so I'm going to plug it in for either of those y's. It's really your choice. I'm just going to go ahead and use the bottom one. So I have 2x minus 3 times negative 6 equals 14. Negative times a negative, that would be a positive 18. And then I go ahead and solve. Minus 18 on both sides, I get negative 4. Divide by 2, I get negative 2. And I would get negative 2, negative 6.